Hello, folks. I'm coming at you on Sunday, December 10th. How's everybody doing? Hope your weekend's been good. I've had a good weekend. Been a little, kind of busy in a good way. Hello, family. Yeah, I stopped in for a minute on the family Zoom yesterday. I was busy. I got some the new projects coming up, so I'm pleased about that. I want to give thanks to Jim Fields, a friend in Lincoln who basically got me into writing music for movies. I did the soundtrack for one of his movies, Flyover Country. Jim, I really appreciate this because I haven't been able to access this online. He sent me an early Christmas gift. Ryuichi Sakamoto's Coda, the documentary or portrait of an artist is how they describe it. I started watching it yesterday. I haven't gotten all the way through it. To be honest, it's a little hard right at the moment. This was made 10 years ago, and when they start into the part about him having throat cancer, and his response at the time, and then the reality of 10 years later, where it's at, hoping that he'll survive, it's kind of tough to watch, Sakamoto is really important artist to me, a sensitive man, and the kind of person that when I observe, he appears to be the kind of person I would like to have in my life personally. So thank you so much for that, Jim. Thank you so much. I now have a review to do, and the person that sent it to me, I don't know who they are. They don't use their real name. I think their real name is on here. But what I told them, you want me to review it, but I hope you understand that I got to be honest, okay? I don't want any controversy over anything I have to say about this next record, okay? Because you sent it to me and you want to know what I think. And I can't bullshit, okay? I'm not going to bullshit, okay? So I got this record a couple days ago in the mail. Never heard of the artist before at all. Not sure how they discovered me, but people are discovering me all the time. So the record comes, to start with, in this black bag, kind of felty feeling, like, ooh, oh shit. Okay, so let's keep going. I had to get a missing piece. Okay, so as I was saying, I just received this record to review. It came in a nice box. In the box was this black bag, kind of felt feeling. Nice. It's like, wow, well, something valuable is in here. Or at least that's how it's presented, okay? So then, here's the album. Big Green Cherry. I've never heard of this band. Big Green Cherry. Let me get the letter here. Big Green Cherry. And signed by everyone in the band, whoever they are. There's no credits. This is limited edition, 200 copies. Heavy tip-on jacket. These aren't cheap. This is a heavy, really nice, super quality. Like the Tone Poet Blue Notes that they've been coming out with. In those heavy jackets, it's one of those. It's numbered, limited edition, number 42. It comes on this really nice looking swirly vinyl. Isn't that nice? The presentation of this is really something, okay? And I think that's the biggest draw to this is how it's presented. Now, I haven't gotten all the way through it, okay? The other thing about this record and this package is that it's a gatefold, and here in the middle, what we have here is a game, literally a board game. A board game that comes with its own sack of playing pieces. A dice, a die, and these different colored little players. So, as a package, this is neat. It's pretty cool. And it gives you a lot to want. But how's the music? And see, this is where I don't, I got to be honest. The music doesn't live up to the packaging. It's just okay. And you folks that watch me all the time, you know how I'm about vocals. I'm picky, and it's the music first. The majority of the vocals on here are just okay. Now, you know that I make music. And people, you send me your stuff to be reviewed, I guess, because you value my opinion. So I have to stay honest. As a music maker, and if I was a producer, I would have had almost all of these vocal takes redone. Okay? That's what I got to let you know. Now, musically, it kind of strikes me as just kind of so-so, like these people are maybe my age or a little bit younger. It seems like they're going for a mainstream sort of effect. The lyrics, I think, are really quite forgettable. But the vocals are just this kind of so-so. It's like there's more than one vocalist on here, but none of them strikes me as having a really strong voice that really carries the day. Now, I also want to qualify this. I'm not going to say who it is, but I had some musicians over yesterday discussing something we're going to do. And one of them, my good friend, who I love to listen to music with, I told him about this, and we were just talking because he's saying what's new besides the project. And I said, I've been getting a lot of good records for a long time and CDs to review. People got the message a long time ago. You better know that your stuff is good if you're going to send it to me. And I didn't say any of that until after I said, well, so I got this record. I wonder what you think of it, okay? And I got the same response from him, which is the vocals are weak. The music is okay. The first song is maybe kind of like, sort of, maybe a little Pink Floyd-y, maybe a little bit. So this is an interesting item, and I must say that some of you people watching here, this might be what you like. I'm up here talking about something like, well, I don't think this is very good. And then somebody else will hear it and they say, wow, that's really good. I really like that. I don't know why you said what you said. Well, it's because that's the way it strikes me. But here you go, folks. Big Green Cherry. It's not on Discogs yet. I only see a website for them that's basically a store trying to sell this. So I'll try to remember to leave that website address. So if you want this, you can get this, okay? It's tough to review stuff when you don't like it, okay? Let me just be real up front, okay? Thank you for sending it and wanting to know what I have to say about it. Don't mean to offend, but these days in this world, this crazy world we live in, where people just don't think very well, we react. People just have no, people just react and get upset about nothing. So there you have it. I just wanted to let you know about that record, okay? Maybe some of y'all want it. Bless you. What else is sitting out? Gas. Rausch. This is a German fella. This is just fantastic ambient drone pulsing music that shifts ever so slightly. The graphics on this really fit it well. I'd like to get more Gas titles. I like the way that they present it, the music and the graphics. Got into some Supersister from Holland last night. There's debate in some groups as to whether this band is Canterbury. I don't consider them Canterbury. They have an obvious influence on them from Soft Machine, but that doesn't automatically make them Canterbury. It's progressive rock. This is a reissue. I do have an original copy too. This is really good. There's a sense of humor with it, with Robert Jan Stips, with his words, but the music is fantastic. And yes, they have the fuzz organ, the organ with the fuzz tone on it that immediately calls to mind Soft Machine. But besides that, they play those time signatures that Soft Machine made famous. Really enjoyed this last night. I think they're from Spain. Garybaldi. Astrolabio. It's a kind of hard album cover to see on this light, but it's pretty cool actually. It's a pretty cool cover. Bombay Fossati, I think, is the guitarist's name who led the band. Good guitarist. Very talented. His playing has elements of Jimi Hendrix and David Gilmour. He's very good. Good album. Got into some guitar yesterday. Davy Graham. British, important musician from Britain. Hat. Black man. Like my dad, light-skinned, so some people weren't sure. This album is a bid for commercial success. It has him playing beautiful guitar, as well as him doing covers like Homeward Bound and I Am a Rock. Apparently there was a early alliance between him and Paul Simon when Paul Simon went to England before Paul Simon was anyone. And people over there were picking up on Simon's songs, so they're on here. Beautiful guitar work if you don't know it. Another guitarist this is a recent... Come on now. Yeah, no, this is a recent find. If I didn't show this the other day, I'm showing it again, but I found this recently at Homer's Used. And it was serendipity because I just got done watching several documentaries about Bert Jansch and folk. And I have some Fairport Convention. I have John Renbourn solo, but I didn't have any Bert Jansch solo. So when this turned up, and it was pricey, I said I have to get it. L.A. Turnaround. This is beautiful album. Beautiful album. I think it's produced by Michael Nesmith of the Monkees. And, oh man, this is some of his guitar playing on here is wonderful. I love this. I love the folk music. I do. It's on, again, on one of my favorite labels, Charisma. It was a must-have when I saw it. I also played this for my friend yesterday. He had never heard this. Like I said, he's much younger. He's like a son, even though we're friends. He didn't know nothing about this. And he's hanging with the musicians in Omaha. But I always tell him, it's like, the one thing that I think is sad about being in the Midwest is how unexposed so many people are to what's really out there musically. This was an example of he needed to know about this. Beautiful, fantastic album. It's very cool that, again, I enjoy this band a lot, so it's neat that when I go to play their records, I trip back to a few days ago talking to one of the members. Porcupine Tree, Nil Recurring. This came out, was it Fear of a Blank Planet is when this came out. 4 songs. There was still some of that metaliness in the sound at the time. I like this. Again, what I find very, very, and I've always noticed this about the band is Steve Wilson has always chosen to play with excellent musicians. And so Gavin Harrison's contribution is huge, as well as Richard Barbieri's. It's like, particularly on the first song on this one, it starts just with guitar, drums, and vocal. No bass, no keyboards. When the keyboards come in, when Richard starts his thing, it lifts the whole song up to a whole new level of interest and listening. Richard Barbieri is one of my favorite musicians. He's up there with Sakamoto. Those are 2 of my favorites. I just really value their work. This month is anniversary of the release of this album, I think 50 years ago, King Crimson Lizard. Thankfully, over the years, this has gained in status among King Crimson fans. John Anderson is on here of Yes. I think it's a wonderful album. Keith Tippett really put his mark on this album. I think it's wonderful. And this is an original American copy I've had since the 70s. Amazing. Got into some Bowie last night. I'm a Bowie man now. Listen to both of these, Low and Heroes, both. These are my color vinyl pressings. Love it. Used to cover this band ESG in one of the bands in the 80s. Their song Moody off of this. This is a reissue of their album Come Away with ESG. Band of sisters, I think, from the East Coast. They didn't really play that. They didn't have a lot of chops. They had a lot of feel. And these ideas, they're just groovy. Super grooves. ESG. ESG. I love music. One more. Brand X, Nuclear Burn. If you haven't heard this, this is where you find out, if you didn't already notice from the early Genesis albums, how good Phil Collins' drumming is. This will do it. And then Percy Jones on bass, another reference to talking to Richard Barbieri. Richard Barbieri has Percy Jones on some of his works. Fantastic bass player. Okay, folks. That's what I got to share on a Sunday. Take care.